This is Kevin Pruitt with Rising Tide Startups, and my guest today is Hannah Gardner. Hannah, thanks for joining us on Rising Tide.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about Hannah Gardner.
Well, I was born in Wilmington, Delaware. Currently visiting my parents here in Port St. Lucie, Florida, for the weekend. Really have no, real address. I'm a digital nomad and entrepreneur. I'm heading down to Colombia for about a month or so tomorrow. And yeah, I work from my computer and I travel the world and I help people to do the same.
So tell me, what was that aha moment? I mean, so you go to University of Central Florida?
Mm-hmm.
So you went to UCF and thought, okay, you know what? I just woke up one day and thought I'm going to be a digital nomad. I mean, what was the light bulb moment that came on?
Yeah, so I went to college. I went to University of Central Florida. Not saying that college isn't a great thing for people, because a lot of people go to college and do a lot of great things. But I went anyway, and I had an amazing time. I actually used a lot of that time to travel because I just wanted to travel so much. And so basically, it wasn't until like around my senior year when I realized that, oh crap, like you got to make money after you graduate college and you haven't done any internships, you haven't really done anything academically. But so it was around my senior year where I was like, okay, like you got to figure something out. And I just knew that I wanted to own my own business and be an entrepreneur and travel while doing it. So like many other people in my industry, in the digital marketing or digital nomad industry, you go to your computer and you say, okay, well, how do you make money online? How do you make passive income online? And what you come to find out is that there's, a million and one ways to do that. So that's like my senior year in college. That's when I really started making that transition to, okay, like how can I make this a tangible thing? How can I become this entrepreneur and, have this lifestyle,
Right.
Yada, yada, yada.
So the recording blipped a little bit really early. So what was your degree program? What were you pursuing at UCF?
Oh gosh, I was studying hospitality. So I thought that I wanted to own a restaurant at one point, or a bar, but didn't. Yeah, I learned really fast that that's not what I wanted at all.
So you came up to your senior year and you thought, okay, I'm about to graduate. I'm getting my degree in hospitality, and now what? So you had that moment. You said, okay, how to make money online on Google? Enter.
Yeah.
So it popped up. I mean, if you Google that, you're going to find 1.7 billion results. How did you kind of narrow down? Okay, which one of these are which 1.6 billion of these are scams, and which ones are really going to fly? I mean, do a lot of testing, watch a lot of YouTube videos. What was your strategy going in?
Right. So I've tried. There's a million ways to try to make money online. I probably tried a million ways. So yeah, there's a lot of scams. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of videos, a lot of gurus that, promote this. I started making money online and 3 days later I made $1,001 or, whatever. And for sure, there's definitely those cases, there's case studies where because they fell into the right, niche or whatever, it happened for them. But, more times than not, that's not the case. And I know that because I literally tried every single method.
You have your own case studies of it not working.
I have my own case studies of me failing time and time again. I mean, I've tried drop shipping, I've tried FBA, I've tried, consulting people, running people's social media, and all those things. Like you can find success in all of these methods. I was just having this thing, it's called the shiny object syndrome, where it's like you get into one thing and then you're like, oh, okay, wait, this person over here is crushing it. Wait, I need to be doing what they're doing. And then you start spreading yourself thin and thinking that you can take on 8 different projects at once, when really it's like, no, you really just need what are you passionate about? What do you want to hone in on, just go for that. And, whether that's drop shipping or whether that's Amazon or whether that's consulting and making an agency. So my issue was just by getting so overwhelmed with the industry and just wanting it all to happen yesterday, and not just really defining what it is that I want to do and how I want to make this lifestyle, and and also align my personal brand to grow with an actual brand that I create or company. So yeah.
So, I mean, you've got a lot of things that are working for you and against you at the same time. I mean, you kind of got the millennial DNA that says, I want to do something with purpose. I want to do something, but I want to do something now with purpose. And you've got,
Yeah.
the like, as you mentioned, the shiny object, syndrome, which I thought you were going to use the word squirrel, somehow.
I was a squirrel, honestly.
Just this moment. But so how did you kind of make that transition from, kind of like you're a guinea pig beta tester of all these strategies to something that, I mean, what was that moment that you thought, wow, this one actually worked?
Yeah, so that aha moment was a moment within itself. It was at the time I was probably putting in, I don't know, 16 to 20-hour days, like staying up all
Wow.
night, driving myself crazy, doing all of these different avenues, trying out all these different
Hmm.
avenues or whatever. And so one day I just like woke up and I realized I was like, what? I was like, what am I doing? I was like, I'm not even passionate about any of this stuff. I'm just doing it because, money is the thing that gets you to the
Sure.
next thing or whatever. And so I kind of like sat back down. I was like, okay, who is living the life that I want to live right now?
Hmm.
Like in this space, in
Yeah.
this digital nomad, digital marketing, whatever digital entrepreneurship business, who is absolutely crushing it right now and living the life that I want to live? And that's when I found my mentors. And at the time, they were living in Colombia, which
Hmm.
I now am going back to Colombia
Right.
because I met them there, whatever. And they own a company called Elevated Entrepreneurs, and they basically teach one method of how to make money online, which is high ticket affiliate marketing.
Hmm.
And I basically hit them up because I was so frustrated at that point, putting in all these hours and not really seeing true success. And I hit them up and I basically was so desperate. I was like, how much money do you want right now for me to fly out to wherever you are currently in this world and for you to teach me everything that you know? And they thought I was nuts because I was nuts. And basically they're like, well, our program is $5,000. And if you want to come out here and meet us out here, then if you really are serious and you're going to do that, then for sure you can come and hang out with us for a week or what, however long it takes to learn what we know. And, we can make it happen for you. So that's what I did. The next day I flew to Colombia and I paid them $5,000 on my credit card, and that's just what.
Voila, here we are.
And then, but through that process, they taught me the importance of, growing your personal brand with something
Mhm.
that you're passionate about to create a sustainable business, and then move forward from there. So yeah, that was a huge aha moment, and it really took me to get to that point of running on that hamster wheel for me to be like,
Sure.
what? Just let me just
Yeah.
figure out what it is that I want to do, and then that investment obviously has reaped its benefits. So it's been great since then.
So you said you're in like high ticket affiliate marketing. So how do you determine which affiliates, do they need to align with your brand? I mean, are you creating a brand based on the affiliate, or I mean, is it the chicken before the egg, or the egg? What's the strategy? I mean, did you have to determine this is who I am and then work from there, or did you say, okay, these are the affiliates I want to sell, now I have to
Mhm.
brand accordingly?
Right, 100%. So there's a lot of scammy courses and mentorships out there for sure, and I know that firsthandly because I've bought many of them. Not that they're scammy, it's just
Maybe
they
not a good
make
fit.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just not a good fit for me. So yeah, like you said, I literally only promote courses where, one, I either know them personally,
Mhm.
or one, I know them through somebody else and they either do group coaching or one-on-one. So I would never promote something where I don't know if you're going to get results. Like I would
Right.
only send you to one of my friends that literally, hold your hand to success. So there's no variables. There's
Mhm.
no, oh, I'm showing you this strategy in this course. And okay, so now I'm going to go implement this strategy that they had in their course into my own business. And then now it's not going to work because of all these variables. Right. So yeah, that's how I've positioned myself within the high ticket affiliate marketing um, realm. Basically skip all the BS that I went through. Let me
Right.
just get you right to where you want to go with someone that doing the things that you want to be doing, so it's guaranteed success. I mean, the only way you would fail with them or being under their wing or in their inner circle is by you simply just not implementing the strategy or not putting in the work or, you know, whatever it is. But yeah, and most of these people align with my brand, with the whole, you know, we're doing this because we love traveling. We're doing this
Sure.
because we want to have this lifestyle. So yeah, definitely in promoting, you know, people that are coaches that align with my personal brand as well.
So in this, I would think, and you know, I haven't really dived quite that deeply into your personal brand, but I mean, I would think this is almost transitional. So it's, you know, you're selling other programs at this moment, but over time, you're going to develop your own system. You're going to develop your own kind of strategies and things like that. Is that kind of what you're growing toward, is to do your own, or is this kind of a long-term play, you know, the affiliate play?
For right now, I mean, I definitely have my own passion projects that
Right.
you know, there's things I want to create and, you know, places I want to go and projects I want to, you know, invest in that are out of this realm.
Mhm.
But definitely for right now, like if I can help people, you know, simply by just saying, hey, like, I know this is overwhelming. I know there's all these different avenues to success. Let me like help you figure out what your first move is before you fail a bunch of
Sure.
times, then like, you know, that's super rewarding. And I mean, I'm getting hit up by people every single day, just pouring their heart out to me, pouring their situation out to me. And it's like so rewarding because it's like, look, like I feel you. I was just there
Yeah.
not that long ago. You know, let me get you with somebody that aligns with what you're trying to do, because, you know, they can literally hand you success. You just, yeah, you know, regardless if it costs you 5,000, 10,000, you know, $20,000 for a mentor, like it's priceless if
Sure.
you're
It
gonna
works.
get where they are. You know,
Exactly.
like if you're gonna, if you can't put a price tag on like, okay, well, they have this life that I want to have, then yeah, you should be doing anything to be in their inner circle and,
Yep.
you know them, you know. So that's why I'm such a huge proponent of mentorships, the right mentorships. So yeah.
So you actually just answered the question I was going to ask you next, but I'm going to give you
Yeah.
a chance to kind of circle back and maybe in a really refined way. So you and I, we just stepped on an elevator. We're going up 10 floors. Give me Hannah Gardner's elevator pitch.
Um, oh man, I would say, you know, everything in this, like if there's something that you want to achieve, if there's a goal that, you know, you're going for, it's all attainable. You know, based on my failures, based on my past experiences, um, there is a faster way to get you to success than just watching YouTube or just trying to figure it out, you
Sure.
know, by yourself. Um, and, you know, putting that investment up front is going to, you know, expedite your process, your journey, the frustration, everything that you will go through if you're not 100% today on your path. So, you know, a lot of people have, you know, they see the value in having this life. They see, you know, people killing it and crushing it in their industry. And if you are not 100% certain today that you have the exact strategy that is going to 100% get you to where you need to go, then you 100% need to find somebody within your realm that knows what you don't know so you can get where you need to go. If that was an elevator
Absolutely. Yeah. So
pitch.
I mean, if you had to kind of define who the kind of the perfect avatar would be that would contact you over Facebook or go to your website or whatever that is, how would you define that person? Who's your perfect client that's coming to you?
The perfect client that would hit me up on Facebook is someone that says, hey, I've been following you for a while. Hey, I've been studying making money online for a while. Hey, I've tried this and I've kind of failed a little bit. I'm really,
Uh-huh.
really frustrated, but I work really, really hard and I really, really want to have this lifestyle. Can you help me?
So
That
they
is,
have to be down the road a bit. I mean, it's not somebody that's going, I just hate my job. I mean,
I
where
mean,
would
you can
they
be a
fit
new
on the
too.
spectrum? Yeah.
Like if it's even someone with no experience, but like knows that it exists, then
Mhm.
for sure hit me up. Like if you know that you have a friend that lives in California and you're in New York, but you see them killing it and they're doing FBA and you want to learn FBA and you have no experience, I still have a person that can teach you that. As long as you work hard and you're not, you know, putting yourself in a box based off your limiting beliefs and you're telling
Sure.
yourself that you can't do it because of whatever, you can still get there. You just have to have the work ethic. You have to have the motivation. You have to want to create a business. You can't just be someone that's like, okay, well, I work a 9 to 5 and, you know, maybe I'll do an hour or 2 hours every couple of days into my, like, no, like this has got to be something that you eat, breathe, sleep, wake up thinking about if you want to actually progress and get to that, you know, the next level. So that would be my perfect.
All in. I mean, you really have to be, I mean, it really is I mean, you burn the boats, you know, I'm all in. This is one of those things where it's not like I'm going to kind of play at this, because I mean, the results probably would be directly, you know, corresponding to the effort put in, I would think, in something like this. So I mean, are you building like a library of contacts, of networks, of affiliates? I mean, because you said, hey, if you want to do this, I have somebody here. You want to do this, I have somebody that can do this. So, I mean, it sounds like to me that you're almost building a gallery or a library of affiliates in different like industries or different specializations or whatever. Are these personal relationships you've had, or is this part of the program that you took, or how were you building this, or is it all of the above?
It's a little bit of a mix of my different relationships that I have with different mentors. But yeah, 90% of them are people that I know personally, and how I've got to be in front of people that are 7-figure income earners, or, you know, people that have great mentorship programs, is simply by networking, simply by investing in myself to go to mastermind, simply by literally, when I was down at the bottom, just reaching out and saying, hey, like, help me. Like, I need help. Yeah. So like all these relationships, like looking back, it's all because I took action to be in the right place at the right time, or, you know, have that right conversation, or I took that course previously, so now I'm in front of the right person, and now I know how to have the right conversation. So for sure, anyone that I'm promoting, they're definitely in my inner circle. They're definitely people that I know personally, like I have their phone numbers, like I can call and say, hey, like, you know, this person is concerned about this. Do you think that you can help them? And if they can't, then all right, well, sorry, you're not the right fit. Like, so let's find you somebody else that can figure out what you need to do to get to where you need to go, you know?
So I sent you kind of a generic list of questions that we may talk about, you know, in this conversation. But I mean, and I also wrote, I reserve the right to kind of chase a rabbit, so to speak, if that opportunity arose. And you give me so much food for thought as you've been talking. I mean, you've done a tremendous job of kind of laying this out. So let's do a little bit of role play here. So I am contacting you. Okay, let's say what's my avatar? I'm somebody that I'm frustrated with my day job, and I know I want to do something in the online space, and I've kind of narrowed it down to maybe 2 or 3 different niches, but or at least 2 or 3 different strategies. I haven't narrowed down the niche yet. So what's the first thing you do? Do you go through some kind of an inventory with me on figuring out who I am, or what? If just imagine I'm coming to you, you're my biz coach now, right? So what do we do?
Okay.
First,
So
get out your credit card and send me.
Yeah. So basically I kind of go through this like journey with them. I say, okay, so, you know, what's your background? Like, what are you currently doing? Right. And then it's okay, well, what have you tried? What do you know? Right. And out of all these things that you know, where do you see yourself aligning something that you would personally be proud to put your name in front of, and then move forward from there? So that was like the biggest thing that I had to figure out. Like, what am I going to do where I literally would be proud to promote it on my personal Instagram page? So is that a product? Is there a product that you want to source from China and get it manufactured and sell on Amazon? Is that, you know, a drop ship model because you have this genius trending product or whatever that, you know, you feel like you can have a good relationship with this manufacturer and blow this whole, you know, website up, whatever, with Facebook ads or whatever? Are you somebody that gets more happiness out of helping people through like agency work? Like, do you want to help other businesses grow by running their, you know, their Facebook campaigns and creating funnels for them? Is that something that you get satisfaction out? Or is it high ticket affiliate marketing? You know, like, do you want to be an influencer in your niche? Do you want to become an authority for whatever niche? Like, like me, I'm in, you know, the travel, like I'm all about, you know, being the authority for people that want to make money online and travel. Okay. But, you know, there's people that could be the authority for real estate. Okay. There's the real estate, you know, is your history of real estate and you want to be this, you know, authority or, you know, influencer for how to teach people how to become better real estate agents,
Yeah.
because that's something too, so there's so many different realms, and it's like you kind of really just got to look in yourself and define what it is that excites you, that you would want to put your face in front of them. And it's honestly, it's as simple as that. It's just people overcomplicate things, especially when they have that shiny object syndrome. Sure. Where it's like, well, I can't do what I really love because this person's crushing it, so I gotta be crushing it too, so I gotta do this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that is really good. And I mean, in a very short period of time, you covered so much, because you said, okay, who are you? How are you wired? What are the things that kind of get you up in the morning? Okay, now what have you tried in the past? What are some of the things that, have you tried any of these strategies, and have any of them worked well? I mean, or did you just say, these made me nauseous. I don't care if they work or not. I hate them because it doesn't align with who I am. And then you gotten to the point, okay, now what's some things we can put in place to kind of get this ball rolling? I mean, do you coach people through this process, or
it's definitely
you
like,
just
it's
did
like,
so
it's like the pre-coach
Yeah.
before you invest money to actually get coached, which is like, I mean, I think that's important, because it is like overwhelming. Like if you're about to drop, like for instance, I just linked up this one guy with somebody that teaches FBA, right? And this kid is the genius, like, of FBA. He knows how to, he has a freight forwarding. He knows how to speak Mandarin to connect other people with people that want to get into FBA, all these different things, right? So he charges $10,000 for one-on-one coaching, right?
Wow.
And so it's like kind of like I'm pre-coaching this guy that wants to get involved with this other guy. So it's like, yeah, well, I'm really nervous. Well, and just asking me about simple business stuff, like, okay, like just about how to network with people, just basic things that, when you're starting out, it's like, some people just need that guidance to be
Absolutely.
like, just message people if you need a network. And, if I could be that person to get someone comfortable enough to be able to invest $10,000 into their business, it's great. But digital marketing or anything in the digital entrepreneur space is such a great industry to get into it. The ROI of investing in, learning a skill like Amazon or drop shipping or building out websites or coding, like those are skills that are like years down the road. Like they're going to need that stuff, like if you were to go and open an offline business today, your investment in that offline business would be way more than just $10,000. And then your return would be 5 years, because it takes 5 years to, pay back your business. So going into anything, like, what's $10,000 if you're going to 10x that in a year, So it's like, if you want to get into something that gives you time freedom, that you can learn how to scale fast, like the digital entrepreneurship space is such a great, business model to invest in, for sure, if you have the right mentor and if you put in the work, obviously. So
I mean, if I'm an affiliate that you're sending people to, I love the fact that you have done, a lot of pre-qualifying before they get to me, or you've done a lot of pre-coaching, kind of prepare the ground, because they're not coming to me and with you've answered a lot of questions that I don't have to answer. And you've also said, okay, this is a really good candidate for your program that I'm feeding into your funnel, so to speak. So, I mean, what a great relationship you would have with these affiliates and doing the service. Plus, if I'm wanting to get into high ticket affiliates, and I'm going to get into some, say, genre, I really want the amount of time that you're going to take to make sure that I'm not wasting time. Because that, time is money. And whether it's digital, whether it's, brick and mortar or whatever, just spending the time to figure this thing out, and you can really kind of short circuit that whole, or shorten the learning curve, I guess, of that whole process. So it's really, I love the whole idea of kind of the digital space, the remote working. I mean, I run a co-working space on Fridays, just kind of pro bono, just so I can sit with people like you and have these conversations, and just hear their stories. And I do the podcast for the same reason. So, I mean, it's just really great to kind of pick your brain and draw this out. I want to dive a little deeper. If you're coaching, I mean, and you're coaching people all the time, I mean, what are one or two pain points that you see over and over and over again of people that may be wanting to get into this space, that you see these are common obstacles that they, and this is how, maybe you can say how we overcome those, or our listeners could also speak into that, how a digital a newbie digital nomad could overcome some of these pain points? What would you say would be one or two?
Yeah, I'd say, thinking back, one of the biggest things, which we kind of touched on before, one of those first barriers for entering the space is either I don't have the resources or I don't have the money based on my situation or something, which those are just made up excuses.
Right.
That's what I call, those are not real obstacles, because you can believe that there is somebody in this industry that probably had it way, way, way worse than you. And look at where they are now. I mean, it's just like, you can look at some of like the big names that exist, Grant Cardone, I just saw him a few months ago, as one of them, So he didn't really fall into the digital space, but still, like, if people overcame their situations that were way worse than your situation, then you definitely can do it. Like, you can't sit there and say, oh, I don't have the money to invest in a mentor, or oh, I can't do this because I don't have enough time. Like, that's just not an excuse. That's just literally saying that you don't want it enough. Like, you're not willing to sacrifice, you're not willing to work hard enough. That's all you're saying. Because trust me, when you want something hard enough, or you want something so much, your mind gets so creative of how you're going to get figured out, whether that's finessing your way into a mastermind, or finessing your way into a conversation, or, staying up for hours and hours and hours, just figuring it out what that plan of action is to get to that person, you get really creative when you want something bad enough. I think so.
So is this confession time? Are you going to tell us about a time you finessed your way into a high-dollar mastermind?
Well,
let me serve you Cokes, okay?
literally, I've gotten very, very creative with my networking. And also, but I mean, there's not a lot of girls in this realm yet, anyway. So I think that helps my case.
That's an advantage. There you go. What would you say? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
So what would be another pain point that you think that you encountered, say, early in the process?
Your mindset too. A lot of people are their own worst enemy in the beginning. It took me about 3 years to be able to have this much clarity in my mind. And your mind will tell you, there's people in your inner circle that will tell you that you can't do things, but then the biggest person usually standing in your way at the end of this is yourself. I was my own biggest bully for a really, really long time. And, I learned something when I was in college, and it was something that Meisner teaches, and it's called, or it's not called, but he says that you are not your thoughts. And that was something that took me a really, really long time to fully ingrain in my being and who I am. And basically it's hard to imagine that, saying you're not your thoughts. Well, how am I not my thoughts? I'm the one thinking my thoughts. So, so basically all it's speaking on is that, you'll tell yourself things all day long. You have, millions of thoughts every single day, but the percentage of those thoughts that are actually reality, like you telling yourself in the morning, hey, like, I can't go to the gym because, I worked out yesterday and my legs are I'm so sore. I can't get up. I can't do it. Well, no, you actually can do it. Like, that was a choice, right? That was a choice that you convinced yourself to stay home. So you don't have to embody everything that your mind tells you. You actually can go to the gym. You actually, can go run 3 miles if you just get up and do it, So that's a big pain point that a lot of people, put themselves in that box, and they tell themselves that they can't do it, but that's not reality. That's just your made up reality of your mind. You know what I mean?
Right. And you mentioned earlier kind of the limiting beliefs, idea that you may have in and that could have started when you were a child. I mean, just the things that you've heard and you've told yourself over and over and over again, and that may or may not be reality. And even if it is reality, it's, what is it Marie Forleo says? I mean, everything is figure outable. Something like that.
It
Find
really
ways. How badly do you want it? So if you had to pick, it's a nice transition to the next question. If you had to pick somebody online that is like your go-to person, it's the person that inspires you the most. Give me a one-line reason why.
Oh, I love Gary Vee. I love him.
He is the most popular answer on our podcast.
I know. I love him. I don't know. He's just so to the point. If I could like be him in the next 10 years, he's just so like, he's so like real. Like, I don't know. He gets a lot of backlash, but he's like so brutally honest that it's
No doubt.
like the truth.
Yep.
Like you have some of those coaches that kind of baby your way through something, or that gym coach or whatever that's like, oh, hold your hand. Like he's like, no, like get over yourself. Like just do what you got to do,
Right.
And so he's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, when you say Gary Vee, there's no justification needed after that. So it's like, everybody understands exactly why you would choose that particular, role model. If you could go back, kind of pre-startup, what would be advice that you would give yourself? I mean, you said you started this a couple of years ago. So what would be some kind of pre-startup advice that you said, okay, I wish I knew this?
Yeah, I wish I knew the power of networking, the power of investing in a mentor that literally can get you to the next level. You never know who you're going to meet that is going to 10x your income just by your partnership with them. So if that means going to these crazy lengths and flying across the world to be in front of that right person, like I said, like I wish I would have done that, way back in the beginning. Because digital marketing especially is like, everyone's an entrepreneur, and we like to think of ourselves as solopreneurs because you're essentially doing it alone. But if you got to be around the right people and have that right, inner circle around you that knows things that you don't know, or strategies, that you don't have in your business, and, that is step one right off the bat. That should be your step one, being around the right people that have the things and know things that you don't know or you don't have.
That advice is so germane to any industry, to anything that any listener that is trying something online, or really anything, to go back and say, what is the value of networking, or the value of having a good coach or a good mentor that really can, kind of really shorten that learning curve and say, okay, it's going to keep me from making so many mistakes. And mistakes are not just time. Mistakes can be, financially crippling. If you do things that they could have told you not to do, like you said, that $5,000 investment that turned into a $25,000 revenue is, it's well worth the investment that you put into that. It's really an investment. It's not an expense. It's an investment in your business that's going to have an ROI. So is there any particular life quote? Like, is there a one-line mantra or life quote or whatever that you have? You got a sticker on your laptop that you look at every day, or something that is just really inspiring to you?
Yeah, I have a lot. There's one thing, especially during this whole journey, that I always had to I literally had to put this like as my phone, my screensaver. It's really cheesy. It's literally, it's just the line, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
It literally can destroy you. I just recently going to a mastermind ran by J.R. Rivas. He taught me something, or he taught everybody something that I just never really thought about before. And it was about your phone, how everyone's phone is like an extension of them. So if your phone is cluttered, or, whatever, you have to really cleanse your phone to, have a clean slate or for your day or whatever. So basically he tells you to delete every single app off your phone. Like, you literally should not have anything on your phone. All of your notifications should be off unless it's like a phone call. And what that prevents you from doing is just like mindlessly going into Facebook or mindlessly going to your social media and just sitting there and scrolling and scrolling. And he also doesn't follow anybody on social media, which is something that I'm working on cleansing at my social media as well, because then when you're going into your phone, you're only going into your phone to allocate time for a specific purpose. You're not just going in to do mindless scrolling or whatever. And that was super, super powerful for me. And just, this was only a week ago, and I've definitely it's helped me so much. And I mean, just simply looking at your phone, and when you see oh, I have 100 emails, that's an instant anxiety that's you are putting on yourself, even though most of those emails are probably spam, right? Or that's an email that you don't even use.
Right.
But just taking all those numbers and notifications off my phone has just it's wow, I really don't need to be looking at other people's crap. Why? So I can sit there and feel bad about myself because I haven't lost 15 pounds this month, or I'm not in the gym right now, or, it really is you don't need that,
Yeah.
and you don't need to be obsessed with how many people you're following or how many people are following you. Who cares?
Wow.
Just put out good to the world and how you're impacting the world, and people will gravitate you that way. You don't need to be obsessed with social media. Yeah, comparison is the joy.
I love that advice, and I want you to follow it 99%, but 1%, I want you to leave me as a friend on Facebook so I can follow your journey. So.
Yeah, I won't. I'm fine. I won't have friends. Instagram. I don't have Twitter. Instagram, it was just it was a big thing. So, but I'm working on cleansing it out. There's a couple apps that you can use to clear your space out as well. So
maybe even limit time on just I love the idea. I can the word picture you just painted, just mindlessly scrolling through Facebook posts or Instagram images or whatever. So as we wrap up today, so tell me, is there anything that I haven't asked you about that you just kind of want to wrap up? You have any great advice that you want to kind of drop a big value bomb here at the end on our listeners, and then just kind of tell us how they can find you online if you haven't cleansed all your online presence?
Yeah. So all I have to say is, if you're interested in getting into the digital marketing space, or, becoming a digital entrepreneur, like I said before, it's a great industry to get into. Make the upfront investment, figure out who you need to know, make that your first step, get in front of the right people, and just use your DM, use your personal message, figure out who it is that's going to help you, or YouTube is great. YouTube's a great resource. Blogs are a great resource, but at the end of the day, they only get you so far.
Right.
But my Instagram is Hannah Danielle 0921. My website is called millennialmindset.co, not .com, .co.
Okay.
And they can find me on there if you want to, get started in this journey and figure out who's the right person for you to start this whole process. It brings you through a little survey process, and you basically go into a direct Facebook Messenger chat with me after you finish the survey in the Messenger chat bot. So that's how you can get into contact with me. And I think that's all I got.
Now on Facebook, do you have a business page and your personal profile page?
Oh, yeah. My business page is just under my name, Hannah Gardner. And then you can add me as a friend. It's Hannah Gardner as well.
Okay. I'll list all those on the show notes, all those links, Instagram and the website link and the Facebook link says when the show goes live. But Hannah, thank you so much for just taking the time today and just, it's almost like a little master class on how to be a digital nomad. And we're going to circle back later. We may do more things and do another follow-up interview and drill down a little deeper if you're up for that. And I'd love to pick your brain more, because we're always limited by these short conversations that literally could go on all day long. But thank you for your time, and I know our listeners are very grateful for you just to take the time this morning, and as you're preparing to head out to Columbia to really be a practitioner of the things you're teaching as a digital nomad. But Hannah, thank you for helping all boats rise in a rising tide.
All right, thank you. I'll talk to you later.